Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is the AliExpress version of this hard-to-find set. This was the Lego Factory Market Street. It was set 10190, consisted of 1,248 pieces, and was rated for ages 10 and up. Originally released in 2007, the set was designed by Dutch Lego fan Eric Brock, who was tasked with designing a set that matched the first modular building, the Cafe Corner, which had released earlier that year. It features a distinctive European, specifically Dutch, architectural style with a stepped gable, spiral staircases, and a street-level market area with a wrought iron entrance. Marketed under the Lego Factory theme, many Lego fans do not consider it to be a certified modular. The Lego group itself, however, does. Originally selling for about $89.99, you can still find sealed copies of this, but you're going to pay $3,800. Stick around as I unwrap, assemble, and review the quality of this AliExpress build. I'm Mighty Joe, and you're watching Hello everyone, welcome back to the Brick by Brick Studios and another exciting episode of Brick by Brick with Mighty Joe. On today's show, we're going to be taking a look at this AliExpress build that I purchased for just over $35. This is a duplicate of a set that was released back in 2007 and retired only a year and a few months after that. This is the AliExpress version of Market Street. Now that was a fan designed set that is considered by Lego to be the second modular in the series of the Lego modulars. However, it was released under the Lego Factory theme, which was, as I said, designed by Eric Brock, a Dutch Lego fan who built this set from his own design. I'm going to go ahead and get it opened up and see what comes in it, and I'm going to take you guys with me. Come on. Now, this package did take a while to get to me, not a long while, as it was stuck in customs in China, export customs. And I do have a set that I ordered with the Ghostbusters Firehouse that is still sitting in import customs here in the US. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm going to go ahead and build this one, and we're going to take a look at it. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is that the advertisement said that the instructions were going to be PDF, but I'm glad to see that there's a book in this bag. It's a small book, but we'll take a look at it. All right, now this set does come on two 16 by 32 base plates because the sections can be reversed. You can build the two buildings, and then if you want to switch around the design, you can just simply move them to the side. I will be building, however, a Mills plate for this. And I guess I'll go ahead and leave it in two pieces so that way I can do the same. All right, let's get our instructions out and take a look at them. All right, so opening up our instruction book, you can see that it does appear to be almost identical to the instructions in the Lego manual. The pictures are kind of small. I'm going to see if I can find the PDF to build off of, just for the fact that I need it on a bigger screen. Age has not been kind to my eyes. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I don't see any kind of stickers, but then again, I don't know if the original set came with stickers or not. But right there, you can see that this appears to be the instructions for maybe one of the builds. So we're going to have to look and see if there's a second instruction booklet, because if not, then the PDF is really going to come in handy. So let's see what all comes in the bag. Taking a look at our part spread, it appears that we have 4 numbered bag steps, which consist of 29 bags, plus 2 supplement bags that are not labeled at all. This smaller bag does have the set number on it, but doesn't have a number distinguishing which step it goes with. But we do have all of the parts separated. Like I said, you've got 111213, and then once you get to 17, it goes down to 2829, and so on. So this is going to be an interesting build, and I can't wait to get it all put together for you. Hopefully the bags stay in order the way they did with the Ghostbusters Firehouse, but we're going to find out together. All right, friends, these are the bricks. Now let's get them all snapped together so I can get you a quick, detailed review of the AliExpress version of Market Street. Are you ready? Let's go! All right, friends, about 4 hours later, and that's the build. Now let's take a closer look at Market Street from AliExpress. It really was a joy to build something that was designed back in 2007. It's so intriguing to see how parts usage, designs have changed, building techniques since 2007. But Eric Brock had a dream, he had a vision, and here it sits in front of us. Let's go ahead and take a look at our minifigures first. Now, this set did come with 3 exclusive minifigures. Now, the only difference between the design of these that you see in front of you and the ones that came in the original Lego set is the fact that the face with the glasses, this face right here, this head actually belongs on this body. So this head belongs on this body. But I was unable to remove this head, and it seems like it's super glued on, even though I know it's not. It may have just been fused at the factory. But I gave up trying to take it off because the pliers I was using was starting to damage the head. So I went ahead and just left it like that. So now they're just wearing different clothes. So you can see we do have our three minifigures. We've got this minifigure here wearing the dark colored jacket, light blue shirt, and gray pants. We've got our grocer here. He's got his overalls on, two different shades of green, but not a deal breaker. And then we've got this one over here that's got the light blue jacket and the dark pants with a nice little necklace on. The faces are pretty plain the way they were back in the day. I'm not really sure when they started changing the faces from the creepy plain faces to more detailed faces, but I think it was a good call when they did that. You can see that these minifigures do not have any printing on the back of the torsos. And then we do have the three hair pieces there. We've got the ponytail, we've got the long light brown hair, and then we've got the gentleman with his gray hair. And he is sporting that little 5 o'clock shadow beard and just a little smile. So yeah, really good looking minifigures, pretty comparable to what came in the set. And here's a look at what the original Lego figures look like. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our modular building. So here you can see we do have a 3-story building. And actually, if you want to think about it, we have the top floor, the middle floor, the first floor, and a basement floor, which is where the windows are down there near the sidewalk. And then along the side, we have an awning area, kind of like a covered area, almost looks like a carport, in which I guess they consider the market. Now, this modular was called Market Street, but it really looks like some kind of maybe bakery and apartment building with just some kind of awning on the side. So really, because this comes completely empty, you can really make this whatever you want it to be. But let's go in closer and take a look. Beginning with our ground level, you can see that we do have a really nice traditional Lego style street lamp. We've got a potted plant, and we've got these really cool spiral staircases that go up to the first floor. And I really like the design of those. It's a really neat technique. And then we do see that we also have the wrought iron gates right here that close up to close off the underside, which kind of leaves a lot to be desired because there's nothing to close it off from this side. So that's a little confusing. We do have some produce here for sale, like a head of lettuce and some cherries and whatnot. And then over here, we do have some cherries and some apples inside. And coming around to this side here, you can see that there is a lot of space inside that you can fill with whatever you want. You can make this some kind of farmer's market and just add a whole bunch more vendors, really anything you want. And you've got all this area in the back that you can put decorations in and landscape it any way you want. So that is one good thing about this set right here. Coming around the back, you're going to see that we don't have anything really to look at as far as the back of the building goes. And then on the side, we do have our Technic pins that are used to connect to the other buildings, which is a staple on Lego modular buildings. And yeah, really nicely tiled off with the dark bluish gray tile. We've got a printed manhole cover, which is really cool. And then when you come up here to the first level, what we would consider the first level, you can see that we do have a blue and white awning, lots of white windows. Now the windows do swing open, and I don't know if it's the same way in the Lego set, but these things are really like they collapse really easily, and they get kind of wonky after a while, so you got to keep fixing them. We do have this really beautiful design here with the horn element, the two whip-like elements, the owl, the black owl, and the two levers there to make a beautiful design. And then the roof of that garage type area only has like a vent, smokestack of some sort, and another decoration right there. But yeah, there's a croissant hanging here, which leads you to believe that there is a bakery. And then there's a blank sign, so you can probably create your own stickers and, like I said, make it whatever you want. The canvas is blank. And then this door itself is not like the original door that came with the set in 2007. So there were a few changes that I had to make and pay attention to, because I was using the Lego PDF file to build this, but there were only a few changes that pretty much took place around the doors on each level. Now coming up to the second floor, you can see this really neat design for this balcony area with those flex tubes, really nicely done, and another blank flag that you can put whatever you want to on. And then we've got our windows and a really cool brick built awning, but an inset awning. I thought that was really nice. Again, a different door from the original design. And I don't believe this door came with a doorknob, but neither does the one on the third floor. So unless I missed it twice, I'll check that later. And then coming up to the third floor, the top floor, we've got another one of those awesome flex tube balconies, and we've got some really nice arched windows. And then this design here with the lion piece. I really like the way that looks, and I'm glad that this set came with that piece because I would have hated to miss out on that. And then looking at the tiling, I made my tiling even because the way it was in the instructions, even in the original Lego set, if I'm not mistaken, it was gray, tan, gray, tan, tan, gray, tan, 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 gray, tan. So I wanted it to be uniformed. So I went ahead and just picked up a 1x2 tile from my inventory and made it all even. I just like the way that looks. Now coming around here to the side, you can see that on the bottom floors, there really isn't anything to see. But on this top floor, there's a cool area to kind of hang out and spend time on the balcony. There's a potted plant, and then you see the roof as it comes up. Now the roof itself has what looks to be either a smokestack or an air conditioning unit or something on it. Looks really, really cool. And then look at this tiling. Isn't this neat? And there's a little example of the windows falling inwards. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, really nice design. And then looking here, you look down onto the top of the garage. But yeah, really, really like it. Now, it's kind of hard to see from this angle, but there is another door in there that you can see over here. And this is one of those doors that doesn't really swing because it hits the studs. But there is a better way to take a look at the inside of this building, and that is because this is one of the very first buildings to ever use the modular technique. So while they're not using jumper plates, they do stack on top of each other and they do come apart. Let's take a look. So right here you can see the exploded view of our Market Street modular, and we do have our roof to the market area. We've got our basement floor to the main building. We've got our first floor, our second floor, our third floor, and our roof. So you can see that when we go ahead and take a look from the top angle, you can see that this modular is basically a blank canvas. There is absolutely nothing in there, and you can do whatever you want to decorate it. Over here, you've got this area that I was saying you can make into some kind of little flea market or whatnot. And you've got the produce in there, as well as the produce out here on the front. And then down here in the basement area of the main building, you can see that there's nothing in there. Now, these modules go together, not with jumpers, but with these plates on the bottom that simply snap into place and hold into place. You can see that our first floor has the same thing, and it simply just sits down and snaps right in. Our first floor as well is completely empty, nothing in there. If I'm not mistaken, the first modular to have an interior was the greengrocer. Now, taking a look at our next floor, you can see again, nothing in the floor. All right. And then this floor simply sits on top and snaps in just like that. Now there is a little bit of detail here in the, not detail, but room inside the roof area, but not much. Basically, you just come up and you could probably put maybe a potted plant or something in there, and you do have a door that leads out. And then here's the door that leads out to the patio. But then this guy simply goes on top and then snaps down. The roof itself, also with the same kind of technology, snaps right on. And that's pretty much how it comes apart and goes back together. But this building also holds another surprise. I know you did notice during our review that we do have the Technic pins on the sides. Well, not only do those connect it to other modulars, but this particular modular, as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, is built on two 16 by 32 plates. So it actually comes apart, meaning you can put this part in your city however you like. You can put this part down the street if you like. Or if the orientation doesn't work for you the other way, you can take this and put it on this side. And you can have the building set up that way. Pretty neat to have it like this because you can look up here and you can see the patio that's up here. And then you can see down here. It just, I don't know, it kind of flows a little better. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Let me know in the comments. If you built this, which way would you display it? Would you display it like this or like this? I'm interested to know. But yeah, for being an AliExpress build, this went together really well. I didn't have any missing pieces. I didn't have any messed up pieces. So yeah, for $35 instead of $3,800, I'll take this all day long. All right, friends, that's going to do it for this build and review of the Market Street Modular from AliExpress. If you enjoyed this build and review, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button, comment down below, share the video with a friend, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you'd like to pick up one of these sets to build for your very own, I'll drop the AliExpress link in the description below so you can pick one up. While you're there, why not check out the link for our swag shop where you can buy shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and more. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, don't forget, when life starts getting you down, just take it brick by brick. See ya!
It's more than a hobby, it's a way to see. Big things in life start with you and me. A lesson in patience for the world to see. That's the